The World Championships for the video game Dota 2 are underway in Vancouver. And the purse for the tournament is now more than $25 million, the highest in esports history. Gaming is huge business, but it's also becoming a public health issue. Last month, the World Health Organization made gaming disorder an official disease. The question now is how to treat it.
Restart is the first video game addiction rehab in the United States. It's treated over 275 gaming addicts since it started 9 years ago and currently has a waiting list to get in.
I was playing up to 12, 13 hours a day, maybe even more. I didn't keep track.
You just kind of minimize it. Barely going out to eat, barely going out to interact with anyone at all, just on the damn computer, and just not caring about anything else. Even now, it's still kind of hard to say, I really did that, and think to yourself, wow, I'm a bit of an ass.
These are two patients at Restart. They were sent here by their parents after they failed out of college. Do you think people, if you told them about Restart, that there's a whole facility just for gaming addiction, they'd be surprised?
They'd be surprised, and also they'd probably get a bit angry. The reaction of, oh, you're just a baby, why don't you just grow up and mature? Which, could you imagine saying that to an alcoholic? You can't just get over it. It takes a lot of effort and work.
The first phase is this intensive phase where they have no access to digital media.
Okay.
This is a chore chart, and these chores rotate every week.
Hillary Cash founded Restart and is the chief clinical officer of the program.
Yeah, and so these are the bedrooms. This is just one of the guys' bedrooms.
No screens.
No screens.
Phase 1 includes a minimum of an 8-week detox from technology. No phones, no screens, and no contact with the outside world. The WHO's classification of gaming disorder is good news for Hillary. It's a long-awaited nod from the medical establishment that gaming addiction could be as bad as she says it is.
People tend to think it can't be real, but they are misled, because if you're a gaming addict and you're actively gaming, your brain is going to light up the same way someone who's high on cocaine, the same way their brain lights up.
Cash has a point. Gaming companies hire psychologists to help design their games to be more fun and to hook people to play for longer. Some studies have shown that gaming can cause structural changes in the reward systems of addicts' brains. Tell me about your patients. Who are they and what are their backgrounds?
Most of them fall between 18 and 30. They come from nice families. They have had many privileges of a middle-class life, usually.
You talk about middle class. How much does Restart cost?
For most people who stay for about 8 weeks here, it costs about $30,000. And
that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
But that's just phase 1 of the program. The price is higher than some drug rehabs. The difference is this isn't covered by insurance.
We are going to my job. I've been in phase 2 for 4 weeks. I got a job in the first week. And I wanted a job so that I can kind of progress through the phases faster. How are you doing today?
Kevin ended up at Restart after his parents gave him an ultimatum: get help or get out of the house. He's now in the program's outpatient phase, which it calls open world.
I may be almost 30 years old, but I've never actually functioned as a true adult. Pay all my own bills, go to things on time, make my own food, things like that. Those are all things that I've never fully accomplished.
Oh, the erotica books. Did Mary show you where those
are?
Once in a while. Mostly guys, sometimes girls.
For a little over $7,000 a month, Kevin's parents pay for him to live in a halfway house for gamers and receive daily therapy to slowly integrate tech back into his life. He's only allowed to have a flip phone and has to petition his therapist for a smartphone.
We're gonna be heading off to Jewel Park, hanging out, building social bonds.
A lot of psychologists and research, it's being dumped into trying to prove that it's not a problem,
when people that I've seen for years,
You see it every day.
I see it every day. I had a guy telling me like how his bathroom just had mushrooms growing in it because he hadn't cleaned his tub.
We reached out to 5 major game developers, and they all referred us to the industry's lobbying arm, the Entertainment Software Association. The ESA has declined our repeated requests for an interview, but its representatives have gone on the record calling the World Health Organization's scientific process, quote, deeply flawed. Other academics have pushed back on the WHO's classification, saying that there isn't enough evidence to single out gaming.
Are there other ways to treat gaming addiction that aren't like an intensive rehab program?
I mean, that's the question. And I think part of it does have to do with earlier interventions. You know, the World Health Organization just recognized it, but in America as a whole, it's not recognized.
None of this is enough to convince American game developers to rethink their product.
They're the ones who are pushing all of this onto the general population to make money. So it's not in their interest to admit that there is a serious problem.
Like almost any addiction, it's all about that dopamine rush. It's kind of built into the games. They're setting it up for us to fall into that trap.
Do you think you'll ever game again?
I'd love to get back, but it's just... I'm an addict. It's in my blood.